How we doing? YouTube, Pass the Prop, back here again with an MLB show for you guys today. Hope you guys are ready. It's a full day of baseball. We got the Wednesday slate, which is the best, in my opinion, because you have it all day. Thursday is another day where you get the full day of baseball, but we got every team in action today. We got, I think, 11 games going off from 12 to 3 Central, and then we still get, some of those stragglers coming down at the end, getting us like 4 or 5 later games. So joined as always by my guys, Stu. How we doing, man?
Yeah, it's perfect for sports bettors today. I'm fired up. It's one night game today. It lines you up perfectly for NBA playoffs, right? If you're betting on sports, I mean, you can just ride MLB right into NBA tonight. So if you got a free Wednesday, it's looking like a pretty good day for you today. And yeah, like you said, obviously a good slate, a lot of action on the board, as well as, like I said, some playoff basketball tonight. So I'm fired up. Good slate today, ready to make some money.
Yes, sir. And as always, guys, if you guys have questions, concerns, comments, anything you got for today's slate, I've been up way too early looking at these MLB lines. It's kind of been bad. These Wednesdays, I'm up pretty early at ready to go. So I got to throw the hat on because the hair's everywhere. We didn't even get a chance to mess around with it yet. So, yeah, I'm excited for the slate. As always, let's do our recap here. I don't want to do the recap, but we got to do it anyway. I know Stu has just been absolutely carrying the show here as of late, so I'll let you talk about it first.
Yeah, Teoscar didn't do it in the traditional way. We talked about all those RBIs, but he obviously got two singles, I believe, in this one. Got the job done. I was worried there when Will Smith grounded in Ohtani at one point. I was like, oh, that was our fucking RBI. But then he got the job done. So it was good right here. Teoscar made it a little sweaty, but cashed for us.
Yeah, and a little sweaty there. I didn't have to sweat this one. I did not have to sweat this one because I didn't think Frankie Montas was making it out of the first inning, bro. The Seattle Mariners, it was kind of funny because everybody didn't want to talk about Logan Gilbert yesterday, didn't want to talk about Hunter Green yesterday because of how bad they messed around with Frankie Montas. And then all of a sudden Hunter Green goes out there and still puts up 8 Ks on the guys. Only going 4 innings, but Seattle kind of woke up a little bit. I mean, took about took a full month, but Montas couldn't throw strikes, walked like 3-4 dudes in the first inning, 45 pitches. So didn't even have to worry. So at least we didn't have to sweat it. I've had a couple of those where I didn't have to sweat at all. This one in particular, as well as Zach Littell, making it not sweaty for me at least. So at least it's done with. And I'm like, all right, we're good. Let's look at other stuff. And yeah, at least he got blew up, like if he was just like going for 4 Ks and I had to sit there with like 8 2-strike accounts and get mad at it.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a chance,
Yeah, I think can we boycott Montas from now on though?
That's the only time I ever bet on him, and probably again the last time I'll ever bet on him.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys. He can be a rough watch sometimes. And like you said, he threw himself out of that game. 4 walks in the first, ended with 5 or something like that. It was brutal.
And mind you, Wednesday was probably the most profitable day for MLB books of all time, with the Dodgers going down as a 400 favorite. And just all the people betting on the Dodgers and all that stuff on Glass now. I saw him just getting hammered into oblivion, getting lit up. We talked about it. That game had variance, man. The Nationals don't strike out, and that's really all Glass now does with dudes. So that probably was the most profitable day ever for the books, having the late night hammer. Everybody's chasing all those bets, throwing them on the Dodgers. Like, there's no way. And then that happened.
Yeah, well, Washington won in the first 5. They won the full game. You didn't get anything if you were a Dodger. Parker, obviously, huge shout out to that guy going out against the Dodgers lineup in your debut and shoving like that. I mean, he pitched with confidence, he's only running 92. You know what I mean? It's not like he's throwing 99 by anyone either. So that was a ballsy performance. The curveball looked awesome. Hopefully he can develop another pitch, and he'll stick around probably, because that definitely earns you another spot in the big leagues when you go and get your first. I believe this was the first debut win for the Nationals since Steven Strasburg won in his debut, which is obviously a terrible statement on the pitching development, but is pretty cool for Parker at least.
Yeah, and I'm curious what his extension is, because they were just missing. They were just missing his fastball. So it's kind of funny. Flame fan bringing up who pitching for the Brewers today, talking about extension. Freddie Peralta, I believe, is on the mound today, and he's the poster child for this. He gets super far out, and his fastball plays up a couple miles an hour. So I'm curious when he gets enough data on him what it is, because that dude was just running through bats, and I was very curious to why. So I'm assuming that's what it is, because it wasn't like it was moving a ton. It was pretty straight, but I have a feeling it had a little bit of rise to it. So that was good stuff there. Phillies again did not get it done for me. Plus money spot, they did not get the job done for me, but I believe Sandoval did for you, correct?
He did, yeah. This one was sweaty, obviously, but he got pulled after 5 at 93 pitches and a couple walks. Best outing of the year, too, by far. But the pitch count got up there. Like we said, the walks, it was enough for them to pull him. So a little sweaty on both of them for me. But, yeah, Sandoval surprisingly got the job done. Once I got off the show and saw like 80 million people were on this, I had a mini heart attack. So I was good to see that it still got the job done despite that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we head into today, Stu. We got 17 people in here live. Recapping where we're at. It was a 2-2 show. Obviously, Stu helped us out there quite a bit. 12-9, 7.2 units for the show so far this year. Stu, huge slate. What game is catching your eye here?
Yeah, man, there's a lot of good one. I mean, before the show, we talked a little about Gausman, like that Yankees-Toronto one immediately jumped off the page to me. Another one I was looking at, too, for, like, prop purposes, I was like, oh, man, like, Corey Seager's lines are super low today. Who's he playing? And then I was like, okay, Screwball, he's kind of crushing. I think that Texas-Detroit game is going to be interesting. I want to see how legit Detroit is because they look legit. I mean, just the other day, I brought up their money line on the show. It looked a little short to me. I'm pretty sure they won that night as well. So I'm curious how that stacks up. I want to pay attention to a couple Texas bats in that lineup as well and see how they fare in this incredibly tough matchup against a guy who's already looking like one of the better pitchers in the league. So definitely excited for that. Surprisingly, a Tigers-Rangers game today.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other game that I'm looking forward to more than the Braves-Astros. I feel like I'm pretty chalky talking about that. But is Max Fried just like cheeks now, dude? Like, is this dude just terrible? Dude, he's going to get lit up today too, bro. Like, this is not a team that strikes out against lefties at all. You literally are going to see two lefties who are both over a 120 WRC plus two lefties, and then you get to mess with all the righties in the middle of that lineup. So I'm concerned for Fried here, but JP France on the other side, oh my God, this is just asking me to just watch this game for some fireworks here. Very surprised it's staying at 9. I'm assuming that's closing at 9.5. Maybe even get to 10, because I do not see how either one of these guys, outside of just hitting the ball as hard as humanly possible straight at people, which is possible. It is baseball. But I have a very hard time trusting either one of these pitchers in this spot.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's going to be a fun one. Like you said, I always love it when we get two elite lineups with two pitchers that we believe, can be beat in that one. And yeah, it's kind of like you said, obviously, which guy's in the worst spot right here. For me, I didn't think the money line would be so one-sided, given Fried and how it's been so far. I thought it might be a little bit closer. So I agree. For me, I don't like the Braves and I don't like the Astros. So I can't pick that as my favorite game of the night when I don't like either of these two teams that are playing. But I agree. That's the fireworks game for sure.
Are you just not liking the Braves because of the NL East and stuff? Or
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was going to say that's a really hard team not to like.
Well, yeah.
If you're just a straight baseball fan, just because they're all there's no one there that is that you hate, there's really no one there that you hate. Acuna's fun. You know what I mean?
And they did it the right way too, They
didn't go out and spend a ton, and they just said, "Hey, we'll just swap you. I'll pay you less money, Matt Olson. You're gonna hit 50 home runs, and I'm gonna pay you $5 million less a year than Freeman, and we let walk." Dude, what a job by that front office, dude. That is probably one of the best jobs ever.
Yeah, they got their generational prospects 8 years ago to agree to $10 million a year. You know what I mean? They locked Acuna, they locked Albies. They got these guys on these amazing contracts day one. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So.
Well, they signed it. Well, Albies signed that extension at after a couple of years in the league because the team was tight. They're a tight team, and It makes, watching them, you can tell, you can tell like the culture there is good. So, but I'm curious because I don't know how you could not like them unless you were obviously saying as the NL East side.
Exactly. No, it's I don't like them even more because of all the things you just said. Like they did it, it's like the Dodgers are so easy to hate, but that's okay. I'll keep hating quietly, and like I said, I still bet on them all the time. It's just it's in the soul.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's take a look at the chat, guys, and we will get it rolling here. So we got Flam Fam, first guy in here. Hey, we appreciate you guys popping in early on these Wednesdays. I know we've actually had more live viewers in the morning on Wednesdays than we have at our normal time, at least live in the chat here. So awesome to see that. Quinn, welcome back, man. It's been a little bit. Hope all is well with you. Shane, we're ready to roll for you here, my guy. Let's do this thing, and we'll get it started here, Stu. I know I will probably be going first. Because I got 2 spots. I know you have 1. I'm going to a spot that's a little bit off the beaten path. I don't think a lot of people are going to bet on this guy today. Very understandable, but I'm going back. I'm going back to Kevin Gausman, and I'm going to plug my nose for it, right? I'm going to plug my nose and get after it here. So Kevin Gausman, yes, I know this dude has been absolutely lit up everywhere, right? Everywhere so far this year. He got lit up by this Yankees team. First outing of the year wasn't bad against Tampa. Only threw 69 pitches in that one. But, dude, the underlying stats for this dude are fine. Like, I understand you don't want to go back to a guy that looks like he's struggling. His fastball velo's down, whatever. So, the reason why I wanted to go back to this one is because I was watching this yesterday in that Braves game. Everybody was on the Braves yesterday, and that's understandable. Hunter Brown was terrible so far. But Hunter Brown was number 1 in the MLB in batting average on balls in play. And it was like 500. Like it was like 480. It's a crazy number like that. And so I wanted to watch. I didn't put a bet on the Braves. I couldn't even play a Brave in DFS. Like I just had to watch the game and see what happens, right? Kevin Gausman's number 2 in this stat, bro. In batting average on balls in play, right? This dude has elite stuff. I understand all this other stuff there. He's got terrible expected ERA, all this stuff. Hard hit rate is up there. But what I'm saying is a 417 batting average on balls in play against lefties, 400 to righties. I know he's getting hit hard. I understand. I think he makes the adjustment. Obviously, throwing in Yankee Stadium is tough for anybody, right? Going into that park with the short porch there. I'm going right here and going right back to him in this spot. At home, a guy who obviously every one of these Toronto pitchers is phenomenal at home. Like they've been really, really good throughout their career. I talked about it with Bassett, who went out there and shoved last year. Gausman had a 3.0 ERA versus at home last year. But also, I'm looking at him against righties, and that outside of Soto, what lefties am I worried about? I ain't worried about Rizzo, right? I'm not worried about Rizzo hitting bombs on me. I'm worried about Soto, right? And that's really the only lefty in here. Verdugo ain't going to be hitting balls out of ballparks yet. I don't see the power there traveling into this stadium. This is a huge downgrade in park. And everybody knows how short porch right side to Yankee Stadium is. You have to slam that ball if you're a lefty trying to hit that ball out to right field. So I'm not worried as much about the power issues. I know that's been happening here, but to have a batting average on balls in play over 400 at both sides, then also having a left on base percentage, what it is right now for him. Dude's got a 38% left on base percentage, guys. I mean, 62% of those guys are scoring, right? Like everybody's getting on base scoring there. I understand the expected ERAs, all that stuff, the underlying stuff there is not great, but I don't think he's going to be giving up this many barrels for this long. I don't expect this hard hit rate to be sitting at 50% when the highest he's ever had is 42%. I understand the velo's a little bit down, about 1 mile an hour so far. But when you have an elite pitch like that splitter that he has, I think he's going to be finding a way to get himself out of these. And you have the big park there as well. So I know it's not going to be popular. And I'm not really having to worry about him putting like guys on base. Like he doesn't walk dudes. He's got a 4% walk rate, better than his 7% over the last 2 years. So he's getting hit. I understand, but it's baseball. To have a 400 average on balls in play is impressive. That's like really impressive to do that. That ball is literally finding its way to a hole every time it is hit. So I expect better numbers here. Only a 21% K rate. His lowest ever before that was 29% 4 years ago. I think he's going to start missing bats, and this Yankee lineup has been starting against this Blue Jays pitching staff here this series. So sign me up. I'm rolling with the Kikuchi Bassett. Let's go Gausman train. Let's do it.
I like it. I mean, this is a spot that you would not. I mean, you probably had to pay at times a lot of like minus 150 for 1.5 last year under on Gausman. You know what I mean? And I really like how you laid out this argument, because a lot of people kind of look at stuff and they go, oh, the stats are not good so far. But everything you said kind of points to regression, right? Whether it's just the batting average on balls in play in general, or then those guys that are all actually stuck out on base. Like that's going to flip completely. You know what I mean? The places that they're at right now are so wholly unsustainable. And I think it might be harder for people to look at as an under. I think it's easier to look at like an over. Like just imagine a guy starting the season like hitting 667. Through like a month or whatever, or 2 weeks. You're like, we all know he's not going to hit 667. But when you flip it around and you look at an under, I think it kind of throws people off a little bit more. And I think it makes it harder for people to bet. So I love the logic here. I definitely agree with what you said. I think some positive regression is coming right now. Definitely like Gausman under 2.5 at this price.
Yeah, and to put it in perspective, he does give up a lot of barrels like throughout, but that's because he misses so many bats and he throws up in the zone. Last year, 300. Batting average on balls in play. He was one of the top guys on that category, and that's obviously not good, right? We don't want to see that. But his xFIP was like a 2.8, right? That's wild, man. Like to be giving up that many hard hit balls and to only have a 2.8 xFIP there. And these numbers, you guys know, these numbers are really, really skewed, right? If you want to look at a crazy xFIP, Kevin Gausman against righties this year, mind you, they're hitting 400 on batting average on balls in play. 38 left on base percentage. He has a 7.35 FIP. His xFIP is 3.6. That's half, right?
Yeah.
Those numbers are coming down, bro. And I want to be on that side before this starts moving, and I'm having to pay minus 170 and parlay this together. So sign me up. As you know, I'm a Gausman fan. I like him. I love that splitter. It's not a pitch used very much anymore outside of the worst pitcher in baseball, Frankie Montas, too. So Kevin Gausman under 2.5.
I like it. Let's ride. Let's keep it going with these Blue Jays, baby.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know what they do at home, dude. I don't know if they just like pump the air conditioning when the other team's hitting or something, but fuck, dude, they are good. Those pitchers' numbers at home are wild, man. So talking about your team, talking about the Nationals, we'll kick it over to you, Stu, for your one play today, hitting a little parlay there.
Yeah, I believe this is our first hit parlay of the season on Past the Prop. I've had a lot of, hits, runs, RBIs, I believe, so far. But we're going Stephen Kwan and CJ Abrams both record hit minus 123 over on FanDuel. We'll start out with Kwan, an absolute legend on Past the Prop. I mean, this guy is like the godfather of hit parlays, right? When they hit my guy Arias with the minus 400 on a day-to-day basis, you have to pivot, right? And this is one of the best like pure contact guys around. I had him for most hits in the MLB before last season. Gave a pretty good fight right there. But over this number coming in 8 straight and 12 of 15 so far this month, Kwan is extremely consistent. Really one of my favorite guys. 372 batting average, baby. I mean, the guy is a singles machine. What I always talk about, I like, we have all these great power hitters, right? But I'm never playing Aaron Judge in a hit parlay because he's swinging for the fences, right? Kwan is trying to get in base. He's a table setter. He's getting stuff going for his team. Great early lineup guy. I think he's just one of the perfect hit parlay pieces, especially because he frankly doesn't even walk that much, right? He's out there to put the ball in play. So love Kwan in this matchup right here. When you look at the matchup versus Hawk, we're going to be seeing fastball slider really is the main pitch. He added in a split finger as well. Not added in, but he started to incorporate that more to get out lefties. But I really like Kwan, 333 so far this year. Versus that right-handed splitter. He's had positive run values in each of his last 2 years against that split finger. That's becoming an increasingly nasty pitch for the lefties, right? That's more and more guys are kind of ramping that up, it seems like, as their kind of counter pitch right here. But it is good to see that Kwan has a very strong batting average on top of the, fastball slider, which he's hitting well over 300 against so far this year. So Kwan is one of the most consistent guys out there. And for me, Abrams is a guy that I frankly think he's a little bit mispriced right here. I mean, he's been fantastic for Washington. Speaking of leadoff hitters that don't walk very much, right, that are trying to put the ball in play, right? He's not really a super large threat to walk. He's got a matchup, which is more of an unknown, right? It's a rookie pitcher making his first debut in Landon Knack. When you go and deep dive, it seems like this is a guy, his fastball is going to be around 92, 93, low 90s. And a bunch of different off-speed pitches that he seemingly is throwing a lot. When I did look at his top 3 pitches through the spring training and the minor league so far, it seems like he's relying on the fastball, the curveball, and the changeup. He also throws a bunch of sliders, and some of them are big loopy sliders. Some of them are like kind of softer cutting ones. So it is a little hard to tell the curve and slider apart sometimes because there's not much data. So I was just going back and watching some of this stuff. But the good news is these are the pitches that CJ Abrams absolutely wants. So far this year, we're XBA of 461 against the curve, XBA of 268 against the changeup, and then 349 against the four-seam fastball. So he's crushing 2 of those pitches. The changeup does look kind of nasty to me from this Knack guy, but he's throwing so much different off speed, and it looks like CJ is mostly having success against all these pitches. Like I said, the lowest is that 268 XBA against the changeup, but I really like obviously how he's hitting off speed so far, and he's just coming in with some good momentum. Obviously, I'm sure it's a confidence booster to go in and, hit Gausman in the first game of this series and get these guys going, because now we're on a little mini 6-game streak right here. So for me, these are just 2 guys that have been extremely consistent. I like the opportunity we're going to get. I think this is a good price at -123.
Beautiful. Love the breakdown. Obviously love that CJ Abrams obviously can beat out a hit to third base. He can get it right to third base and still make it. So good looks there. And I'm going to be going to the team we talked about there a little bit before we get to the last one. Hit that like button, guys. If you could, we got 25 of you guys in here live with us. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. Like I said, we've gone through pretty much all the games so far. So if you guys have any questions, no problem deep diving in there. So Flam Fam already brought it up, man. Braves can be very profitable. I'm going back to my profitable bet there, and that is the first 7 over on DraftKings. I'm going right back to it. Really like the spot today against JP France. JP France is one of the guys I do want to target, especially at home. Looking at his numbers last year at home, 4.52 ERA, 456 slugging, which I think is really important because this is a tough spot to want to have slugging issues, right? I don't want to do it against the Braves, dude. This is going to be his first time seeing a lot of these guys, obviously, with the interleague play and everything. I know a lot of the numbers will be skewed, right, with how bad he was in his last start, giving up 8 runs to the Rangers. But if we're talking Rangers level of offense, the Braves is right there, right? They're right there. And also, I want to go back to last year a little bit here because this dude, 14% K rate to righties, 20 to lefties, but an xFIP of 5.5 to righties is terrible. But also, we talk about how bad he is against righties there. This is the most concerning part for me for a guy who's about to face this Braves lineup is his home run to fly ball rate, right? As a guy who's right now, I'm looking at his fly ball rate last year was about 39% at home. His home run per fly ball rate is 12% to lefties and 11 to righties. That's fucking bad, right? That's like every 10 is a homer, is a bomb. That's not good, right? Especially for a guy who, is a 40% ground ball guy, right? So that means line drives and fly balls are going to be hit hard and they're going to be going far. So looking at his numbers this year again, he's not giving a ton of barrels up, but his expected ERA is high. His hard hit rate is low, which is weird, but 9.2% walk rate. You can't not miss bats and walk 10% of dudes. That is just not going to work. A four-seamer that obviously Acuna, Matt Olson, all these dudes rake against. He has a 391 batting average against it so far this year, an expected slugging of almost 500. That is used 30%. The cutter has a 400 batting average against with an expected slugging of 550. That's 60% of his pitches right there. Are those two getting absolutely smoked? I really, really, really struggle to see these guys really getting after JP France. Also, Houston's bullpen that I thought was going to be positive has been absolute dog shit this year. I thought this was going to be one of the best pens in the league, and maybe it will towards the end, but they haven't been able to get leads to get to those high-end dudes. So they threw Hader in a spot where they were already losing. So it's like, take as much from that when you have having a closer come in a non-close situation. We see that a lot where they just don't work well. But Houston right now is the third worst ERA from bullpen ERA. They got a 1.5 whip. They've already given up 10 bombs, guys. 10 bombs, only one save as a team. Oh, man. I really have a hard time seeing, first, France get deep enough in this game to not see that bullpen, and also him not giving up home runs where that Houston Park is awesome for right-handed bats, especially for a guy who doesn't strike out any righties. Also, 13% of your fly balls to lefties are bombs. You got Matt Olson in this lineup. You got Michael Harris in this lineup, right? Those are guys who have pop in their bats. And also, I mean, Acuna, Riley, all these guys. Hey, don't leave out my boy now, Luis Guillorme. Put him in that lineup. He's about to hit some tanks, baby. Let's go. That beard is so gross, but hey, whatever gets the job done, I guess.
I don't know about tanks. He's gonna hit some nice line drive singles, baby. That's what he's gonna hit. But no, I was gonna say that stretch where he was popping off was hilarious. That was
he was like a top 5 hitter for like 3 weeks. And
and he was playing like elite defense as well. It was a hilarious string. But yeah, no, back on topic. I do like this play a lot, obviously. For a lot of the things you said, too, specifically, obviously, the home run to fly ball rate is kind of crazy. And then when you compare it with the walk rate, this is like the worst team to have that against. You can't pitch around guys, and then you absolutely cannot give up that kind of power, right? And this is a Braves team that we know when they do hit the ball, it goes very, very far. And it's not just one guy, right? It's the whole team. So definitely like this look right here. I like these first 7 looks. Obviously did us justice last time on the show. Hopefully do it once again right here.
Yeah, this is not a team you want to have power issues against. That is for sure. And yeah, I don't know what is up with these bullpen guys for Houston, but I think it's just like they're having to use more of them because they don't have every 5th day you get Framber out there who's going 7 innings, right? You know he's going to be a dog and get you those innings. Verlander, you know he's going out there getting you 6. Now you're relying on this whatever spaghetti guy, whatever the fuck his name is. He's throwing 2 innings, getting slammed, right? I mean, you're relying on dudes that should not be in this. Christian Javier, he ain't going more than 5 ever.
Yeah.
Ever. You're just going out there trying to strike you out, but you need depth right now, and you need to get some length out of these starters, and they just don't have it. So, Garth, I do like that look. I do like that under quite a bit. I do like that spot. I was just talking to Stu about that game before we came on the air. I do like Brady Singer quite a bit today. I just don't like betting doubleheader games. I get nervous a little bit more on those days, but I think because of that, I almost do lean under more than I would lean to a couple of those over spots there. So, Stu, I guess it's time for a recap here. I don't know if you have a long shot here, but we can figure it out.
Sounds good. Yeah, I don't have any long shot action right now, but we got Steven Kwan to record a hit. We got CJ Abrams to record a hit. That is -123 over on FanDuel Sportsbook.
I'll be rolling with the Braves first 7, team total over 3.5, and Kevin Gausman under 2.5 earned runs at -135. I don't know if I'm going to have a long shot today so far. I know there's a lot of good games today, a lot of good guys that I do want to back some of these ladder spots in. I do probably want to go to Matt Olson in some way today. I've talked myself into it. But I think I like the RBI looks more than the home run looks, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so much more.
Well, homers are down right now too, right? I'm sure you're seeing that, right? The Ballpark Pal guys that were made that huge post about it and stuff. I'm not saying, I'm not really a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but these guys are all the data guys. They're the least conspiracy driven in the world. And if they're showing you that, hey, homers are down right now, and like you said, these RBIs are cashing for us, then I'm in kind of the same department where a lot of times you're even getting better prices on some of these 2 RBI plays, than you are for the homer price on some of these elite hitters. So I'm with you. I'm staring more and more at that market as opposed to home runs every day.
Yeah, the data definitely is what you want to look at. You don't want to look at people's opinions. That doesn't really mean much to me. But when you look at numbers and you see they're down, but you see the run totals aren't down that much, you got to be getting in by some way, right? And that's the RBI total market. So definitely like it. Stu, I guess, what do you got for the people right at that 30-minute mark? We've been getting damn good at this 30-minute spot, man. Just getting in and out, go roll through. Right now, just hit that 30 mark. What do you got for?
Yeah, well, we know it's early in the morning. If you're tuning in later, you still have a question, make sure to drop it in the comments. We are here, all day, every day trying to answer those questions. So we get it. Not everyone can make that 10 o'clock live time, but we don't want to dissuade anyone from still getting their question in. If you got anything for me or want to see the rest of my picks, they'll be over on Twitter at Monotone Football. I've already got Jonathan Isaac's props out for this weekend, but we do have plenty of action tonight. Excited to get some more props out for there. My only problem with the NBA tonight is there's two really good props on paper with Trae Young assist and Bogdanovich points, and the whole world has bet them all already. So it's like, oh my God. Do you want to make the good on paper bet that 90 million other people have already made at now even a better price? I don't know. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited. I'll probably have some dumpster diving props a little bit. Had what's his name, Nance yesterday. Maybe look out for Nicholas Batum today. Maybe he's our Larry Nance.
That makes my skin crawl, bro. That makes my fucking skin crawl having to hear that shit, bro.
I almost didn't say it.
Hey, the dude's just gonna be standing there with his hand like this. Hey, hit this hand, I'm gonna shoot it. Just hit it right here, I'm gonna shoot it right there, and you know what's up. I loved his one. Bringing up Nicholas Batum, just the one jump shot where he didn't even pull the ball down, he just caught it and it was out of his hand. Yep. That was impressive shit. That's impressive, dude. I don't know if a lot of you guys play basketball, but like playing like pickup, I play a lot of pickup, and that's all I do. I just shoot. I don't dribble. Why would I dribble? I don't want to go by all the tall people. Let me sit back here. Let me shoot. And to be able to catch it and just go straight into your shot without anything, bro. And he jumped off the ground this high and still make it.
Yeah,
that shit's impressive. That was impressive.
Yeah, he's an interesting. He gets a lot of hate. I don't know if you heard that the freestyle, the fourth quarter, why the fuck Batum in? That went viral as well. The guy gets clowned a lot. But at like 9 PRA, we're really not asking for too much. But I agree, and that the he'll sit in the corner, he'll knock you down to corner 3, grab you 4 or 5 rebounds. That's all we can really ask for. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, he's just like a very much less intimidating PJ Tucker, dude. Just very much less intimidating. Like, get some tats, Batum. Like, tat up here. Some people don't want to drive on you and shit. They don't want to go up against you.
Yeah, well, he's got passing too. Okay, let's not disrespect my guy Batum. He's going to cash for me tonight. Little spoiler alert for what we got going in the NBA for anyone curious.
Yeah, best of luck to you on the NBA streets. I tried rolling my dice with Draymond double last night, like plus 500. Boy doesn't want to rebound. So good thing they lost. Hopefully they lose again and never have to see Draymond play another game. So, all right. Best of luck tonight, guys. Best of luck tonight. Full games, full day of action there. Again, Stu brought it up before. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. We will get to those. And we'll try to get to all your stuff before the slate starts. So we got a couple hours. Lock those in. And best of luck to you guys tonight.